Welcome to the Mobile Cyclist, the show that brings you the best of bicycling's people, places, and things. I'm your host, Anthony Barr. Today, I'm California dreaming in a big way, stopping by the Marin Museum of Bicycling in Marin County, California. I'm meeting up with a couple of mountain bike Hall of Famers who'll show me the ropes of how mountain biking got its modern-day roots. All this and more coming up on the Mobile Cyclist. Hey folks, Mobile Cyclist here. I'm in Marin County at the Marin Museum of Bicycling. I'm ready to go inside and see some amazing history and talk to two pioneers of the sport, Otis Guy and Joe Breeze. I'm so excited. I'm out of here. Let's go. I kicked off my visit with Mr. Joe Breeze, museum curator and mountain bike pioneer. What's your original connection to mountain biking for folks that might not recognize you? There are a lot of people that would.
Probably I'm most known for building up the first modern-day mountain bike. That is a frame built specifically for what we were doing on Mount Tamalpais, mountain biking, and it's the first time you had a shiny new mountain bike.
There's a ton of bicycling lineage at this place, so I asked Joe if he could give us a quick rundown on some of the major milestones in bicycle evolution.
This is a 1868 Michaud made by the first commercial maker of bicycles in Paris, 1868. Wrought iron steel, carriage wheels. The high wheel bike here is the natural progression, a bigger wheel. The Bessemer process made steel economical, steel rims and long skinny spokes into this spider wheel.
Bicycle design was kicking out innovations from its own corner of the Industrial Revolution.
And now they're on ball bearings. In fact, this bicycle here, an 1886 Rudge, this bearing here, patent date 1878, is considered the great-granddaddy of all commercial ball bearings, not just in the bike industry, but in all industry. Well, the high wheel bike was anything but safe, right? You're perched way up high over the wheel.
The challenge is getting on it and staying on it.
I think it's where the term hitter came from, Anthony. Here with the Bush roller chain, you could have an efficient chain that would last for a while, and you could replicate that 53-inch diameter of the high wheel bike into this 30-inch wheel bike here, where you're sitting between the wheels, a much safer ride. This 1894 Columbia here is a bike that we can recognize today, you know, with its diamond frame and equal-sized wheels and pneumatic tires.
Bicycles were becoming big business.
It was the pneumatic tire that really burst this craze of bicycling into this stratosphere. In Washington, D.C., there were two patent buildings, one for bicycle patents, one for everything else.
Seriously?
Okay. In Manhattan, in a 1-mile radius, you'd have 80 bicycle shops to feed the need. It was this amazingly huge thing.
So much more about the history of bicycling is here, but I wanted to find out where modern mountain biking got its roots. Your role in mountain biking was pretty significant. What did you contribute?
Okay, so let me just give you some background here. I first saw these guys riding down in Larkspur when I was out on my road racing bike. They sure looked like they were having fun, but they were on these crusty old bikes from the 1930s or 40s, and eventually there I was on one myself. There is direct linkage from the Larkspur Canyon Gang and people like the guys, the Moro Dirt Club in San Jose area in Cupertino, and on through the Olympics, mountain bikes in the Olympics, and to today there's linkage connecting all of it, okay, back to Marin County.
But one particular event is what really put Marin and the mountain bike movement on the map.
And the repack race came along in 1976. It was repack that brought all us kids together from around Mount Tamalpais together on a regular basis to test our mettle on the 1,300-foot downhill at repack, about 2 miles long.
So repack was the first true mountain bike race.
That's right. That's what eventually brought journalists in to write stories about what we were doing with this fat tire bike, which eventually went across the country, turning a lot of people onto fat tire bikes.
So when was the first purpose-built mountain bike?
So we're riding these bikes, and the old Schwinn's kept breaking, okay? And I was already making road racing frames, and it's like, hey Joe, when the big guys were busting them and saying, Joe, when are you going to make me a new mountain bike, And I said, okay, I'll make 10 of them. They'll all be the same. And this is one of them right here, this Breezer. This is Charlie Kelly's. It's Breezer number 2. In fact, this is a shot of me at the bottom of repack. I had just one repack on the maiden voyage of Breezer number 1 right here. It's just in primer red.
So that bike now today, it's not here. Yeah. It is.
It's actually in the Smithsonian. It's been there for a year or so on display. Wow. Yeah. And that's the first purpose-built mountain bike frame outfitted with all shiny new parts.
Okay, I gotta admit, having something you created in the Smithsonian, that's some serious street cred. All right, people, pay attention. Here's how mountain biking got its early commercial beginnings and started to become a household term. I'm looking down here, Tom Ritchey, you've mentioned his name. A lot of people know him. What was his contribution to mountain biking?
Yeah, so Tom had already built maybe 1,000 road racing frames. This Ritchey, this blue Ritchey right here, is actually his first mountain bike he ever built. 1979, that's Ritchey number 1. Ritchey number 2 he built for Gary Fisher. And then he made 10 more, but didn't have any luck. And he calls up Gary Fisher one day and says, hey, I got these 10 frames, they're all done, but I can't sell them down here. So Fisher went down and picked them up, ran into his old buddy, Charlie Kelly, showed him all the frames in his car. And
right
said,
out of his trunk?
Yeah, right. I opened up his trunk and said, hey, you want to go into business? And they pulled together a few $100 and started the business. Mountain bikes, a virtually unknown term for the bike. When I saw this on the desk down on mountain bikes, I thought, oh my gosh, this thing's going to go around the world. These guys were marketing the heck out of it.
Folks may also recognize this next fella, which put mountain biking in big bright lights.
That next big step was the Specialized Stump Jumper, and Mike Sinyard, the founder of Specialized Bike Company, had the Stump Jumper manufactured in 1981 or 82 and marketed the heck out of it and turned a lot of people on to mountain bikes. The top end bikes were about $1,500 and now this was $750.
It's now becoming a mass sport.
That's right, that's right.
There's not a lot that Joe Breeze hasn't experienced when it comes to mountain biking, and his knowledge is off the charts. But wait, this incredible museum doubles as the International Mountain Biking Hall of Fame. Former pro Otis Guy.
Back in Crested Butte in 1988, the Mountain Bike Hall of Fame was started there. And so we have now brought it out from Crested Butte. And this is not the US Mountain Bike Hall of Fame, this is the International Mountain Bike Hall of Fame.
You yourself are in the Hall of Fame.
So we were all part of that, at the beginning with Gary Fisher and Charlie Kelly, Tom Ritchey, Mike Sinyard later on with Specialized. So many, great names that helped, make this happen.
When you guys are looking at inducting, what criteria do you look at to bring somebody in?
Someone is need to have had either a small group of people or just an individual person has had to have had a ripple effect that's just more than their immediate area. Like this year, we inducted the North Shore Trail Builders. So if anybody's ever seen a ladder bridge, a little narrow ladder bridge up on North Shore in Vancouver, that's those guys. Whether they be racers, trail designers like the North Shore, magazine editors that have made a difference. It's important to tell these stories so people can look at this stuff and learn. That's what a museum is about. That's what a Hall of Fame is about.
Otis, Joe, and the team have created a true living museum that honors both the evolution of bicycling and the heritage of the great sport of mountain biking. This place is packed with cycling history and legacy. You've got to stop in and see it for yourself. Folks, this has been amazing. Joe, thank you so much for showing us around.
Thank you, Anthony.
Joe Breeze, this place is unbelievable. So much more to see. You got to come down here and check it out. Thanks again.
All right.
Great talking with you.
And you.
This has been absolutely great.
Thank you.
So I really appreciate your time today, Otis.
Thanks.
And looking forward to checking this place out.
Perfect. Thank
Thanks.
you.